Markets are unpredictable, volatile, complex, but your trading journey doesn't have to be. Hola Prime TV is now live. Every trading day, join top coaches as they break down real-time setups, key levels, live trades across Forex, futures, and crypto. From Tokyo's early momentum to London's open surge to New York's high volatility action. We decode every move live, get sharp analysis, clear strategies, and insights that actually make sense. And yeah, we don't just break down charts, we crack a few smiles too. Only on Hola Prime TV. This is more than content. This is infotainment and beyond.
Hello, everybody. As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am Coach Paul, and this is the Hola Prime Market News Update. For the U.S. futures markets, U.S. equities fell from their highs today after some hawkish comments from Fed Chairman Jerome Powell. The S&P 500 futures lost 0.5% on the day and are currently trading at 6,719, that is. The NASDAQ was even weaker, posting a 0.67% loss on the day and is currently trading at 24,846. The Dow Jones had the strongest day of the three indices, losing only about 0.13% and did make a new all-time high of 47,055. The Dow is currently, though, trading at 46,661. On the international front, for global news, we have the South Korean Consumer Sentiment Index, which declined from 111.4 to 110.1 in September. Also, Canadian Prime Minister Carney made headlines mentioning that trade talks are ongoing still between the U.S. and Canada. And furthermore, the planned meeting between U.S. President Trump and Chinese President Xi will not be taking place in 2025, interestingly enough, but possibly next year. So I'll have to keep tabs on that. As far as the USD futures FX pairs, the US dollar showed a slight bit of weakness amongst the futures major currency pairs. Euro USD rallied about 0.11% or so and is currently trading at 1.187 as of this writing. CAD USD was the only loser on the day, actually, of the list, losing 0.13% and currently trades at 0.7254. GBP USD logged a gain of 0.1% on the day and is currently trading at 1.3528, while the Swiss franc had a small gain of about 0.12% versus the US dollar and is currently trading at 1.2756. Furthermore, the Japanese yen was essentially flat in today's trading session and is currently trading at 147.65 yen to the US dollar. And lastly, the New Zealand dollar lost 0.18% against the US dollar today. The pair currently sits at 0.5876. Cryptocurrencies were a little bit mixed today. Bitcoin was down 0.32%, is currently trading at $111,980 as of this writing, while Ethereum is up 0.47% and is currently trading at $4,166. We also have Litecoin up 1.3%, trading at $106.24. XRP is flat, trading at $2.83, and Solana is down 1.6%, trading at $214.40. On the commodities front, gold futures gained another 0.4% on the day and created new all-time highs of $3,825 per troy ounce. Gold futures are trading just above $3,800 as of this writing. Conversely, silver futures were flat on the day, settling at $44.26 per troy ounce. Silver did trade as high as $44.78 in today's session. WTI crude oil futures bounced off their monthly support area of roughly $62 per barrel, gaining 2.13% on the day, actually, and currently trading at $63.76 per barrel. Note that the crude oil inventories data will be releasing tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. So just crude oil futures traders, beware. And then for tomorrow, key events, really light docket tomorrow. We just have new home sales data releasing at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So with all of that mentioned, without further ado, it is time for our Quiet Markets live trading session with both myself and Coach Tiger. So let's get to the trading. Coach
Hey,
Tiger,
what's
how's
going on,
everything?
Paulie G? Oh, it's going great today. Yeah, pretty good.
Awesome.
Pretty good for
Awesome. Nothing.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
Getting
same
a lot.
here. Nothing much for me either. Aside from I had a nice little dinner, went to a Japanese steakhouse. That
Oh,
was
nice.
tasty. I'm sure my
Nice.
stomach will be regretting it a little bit later, but for now,
Yep.
fantastic.
Hopefully you'll be able to sleep okay after this.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm all carved up, so I should sleep really well tonight. I'll just
Yeah.
completely all the energy will be gone after this session. So
Yeah, me as well. It's been raining here all day, so uh, just one of those
mhm.
lazy days. And I slept like a champ after Forex fire this morning.
Oh yeah,
As a result,
nice.
yeah, there's nothing better
Very
than
nice.
sleeping to rain. Yep.
Oh, that's the
And it's been
truth.
all day, and it's going to continue. So yeah, that means I'll take a really good couple hour nap before Forex fire starts in the morning.
Lucky duck. Lucky duck.
Yeah,
It
I had
hasn't rained here in Orlando what it feels like for like 2 weeks now. So just dry,
well, that's a
sunny
long
and
time
dry. Yeah.
for your
Yeah.
neck of the woods. That's a long time. A long
Oh
time.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Everything is gasping for water and air outside. I swear it's ridiculous,
Yeah.
but it'll come soon
Right
enough,
on.
hopefully.
Yeah. Well, how did the future session go?
It went good. It went good actually. It was a fun day of trading. The morning was a bit of a grind. I was down close to $500 in the morning. I clawed my way back by the end of the morning. I was only down like $60, and then by the end of the afternoon session, was up $450. So pretty great day. Can't complain. Definitely
Nice.
can't complain. But it was a fun
Yeah,
one. We
for
got a
sure.
little bit of volatility, a little bit of downside action. Was able to take advantage of a lot of the gold volatility today as well, which is where I made most of my money actually. So the gold really helped me out. I had like
Well,
one losing gold trade, one losing cattle trade, and then I had like three winning gold trades. So it
nice.
all worked out. Yeah, yeah. How about you? How was your
Okay.
session?
It was good. Got into a couple trades on both of them. It was buying the New Zealand dollar. So I'm sorry, selling the New Zealand dollar. I said that backwards. So pound New Zealand and then Aussie New Zealand. And on the Aussie New Zealand, I rode that up to about a 1-to-1 profit. I was in with a small amount of risk on that because I was waiting for a better move. So I got in a small position on Aussie New Zealand because I was actually waiting for the pound New Zealand to shape up because I liked the structure of it a little bit better. And so when I got into the pound New Zealand, I had a much bigger risk on it. And the Aussie New Zealand, it had gone up about a 2-to-1. So I just left my take profit in place because it's a slower moving pair. Pound New Zealand moves a lot though. It's one of the fastest moving currency pairs. Okay. It moves about 130 pips on average per day. So it's got a pretty high AT, average true range. And then the Aussie New Zealand, it only moves, I think it was like 40 or 50 pips a day. So a little bit more like molasses. As always, I prefer those 70, 80 pip ATR pairs or higher. But yeah, that one just so happened to hit my demand zone first. And so, I got into a small position on it. I just left the take profit after I moved it 1-to-1. So it did come back and tap me out for that 1-to-1 with the intentions on letting the pound New Zealand actually run. So that was kind of my mindset on that. And I'm sitting here trying to decide if I want to hop into this Nikkei trade. I actually missed the initial move down into my demand zone, as you can see here. I was too busy talking to my sister on the phone. So I missed the initial bounce, and then I'll finish covering my two trades here in just a moment. But
sure.
But just trying to decide if I want to hop in as a second chance on this thing. Oh man.
Yeah, let's see.
I wished I would have just limit ordered this, to be honest.
Right.
This is the one I think last night when we were on, I had a limit order set. I had it set a little higher, but then the price kind of curled around, meaning I wanted to wait for a little bit bigger of a zone. So I think this area here was what I was looking at last night. And after it kind of curled over it, it just obviously pushed right through it. It got a little bit of a bounce right here, but it just eventually came down. But the Asia market opened up earlier and it just kind of sunk right in nicely to this demand over here. I love it too because we had liquidity over here.
Yeah.
Wait a second. No, maybe that
would
is
you
the
be,
same. What's that?
I was going to say, would you be if you were to get long in that area of like the 45,300 or 45,350, would you be looking to target 45,800? Is that what you're okay, gotcha.
At least that, because I looks like I had a supply zone written up in the past, which it had already bounced into. So obviously this is a bullish bias. So when it comes to the supply zone, I didn't want to sell in that area, but that was my original take profit. But it has since bounced in, which, even though it's a bullish narrative and even though we're in an uptrend, clear uptrend, it can still push price the other way. So I would expect that to kind of create a correction or profit taking, or even people that are short selling against the trend, right? So, it's come down. And now that I missed the initial entry, I'm just kind of, and let's see here. So it was a 1 hour demand that I was, dang it. I wished I would have waited to call her later. But anyway, she was asking me about a TV I have in my closet. It's collecting dust. I give it to you. It's just collecting dust. So in that time, and I was actually looking at this on more of a 3-minute time frame, just looking at the demand zone. So I kind of created this new demand zone. It's hit in and it's already, gosh dang it, it's already taken off. It's already taken off. Well, I was kind of wanting to see the moving average, the 13 moving average come down and get a little bit closer so that I can, take a buy on the opposite end of it. It's there now. It's just a little high and in this congestion zone. So I think I'm just going to sit and wait on it. I may very well have missed this trade a second time. But
Yeah, I was gonna say, and you wouldn't feel comfortable getting long here because your stop would have to be pretty low, like below
right.
45, 370 is what you're thinking,
Yeah, because at
like
this
45,
point,
360.
I've cut my reward to risk in half.
Yeah.
I was planning to have a stop under here with the intentions on getting in here, but of course, I'm prepping for the show and all that fun stuff, so just straight up missed it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, if I get in up here, then that's obviously going to double up not double the risk, but it's going to cut half the reward out. So what's it look like on a 1 minute? Yeah, gosh dang it, missed it twice. Oh well, yeah. I was also trying to manage my other trade that I've got open. So let's just go to that real quick. I'm just going to
Yeah.
cancel this. Okay, so we started off with Aussie New Zealand this morning, and was looking at this over here. So I had a supply overhead I definitely wanted to take profit at, which I did, but 15 minutes. I'm sorry. So I was looking at this on a 15-minute time frame. So yeah, we had this little 15-minute demand zone, just a quick in and out. Came down. My stop loss was a little further down, so I stayed safe with that. I just gave it enough wiggle room. And then, yeah, just kind of pushed up nicely throughout the day. Aussie New Zealand is one of my top setups, along with Pound New Zealand. Let me look here. Aussie New Zealand giving me a very bullish score of a 9. So I felt pretty confident about that. This morning, it was actually a plus 11, I think it was. And then the Pound New Zealand the Pound New Zealand was the most bullish this morning at a plus 13. But now Pound New Zealand's down to a 10. And actually, I'll just go to my chart real quick. My gold. I keep all my goodies over here on gold, on my gold chart, since that's the most popular thing I'm trading right now. Yeah, here's our up-to-date top setup. So yeah, Pound New Zealand, Aussie New Zealand, the most bullish pairs. So, but yeah, again, the Pound New Zealand just has a bigger ATR. So that's the one I ultimately wanted to stay in for a couple days or so, however long it takes to either stop me out or get to the take profit. But it's up there around a 2-to-1 at the moment. And then on the bearish side, yeah, it looks like so that one actually hopped on there quick. New Zealand dollar, yeah, New Zealand's not looking too good right now as far as the economic surprise meter. So over here on the left, this is what the screenshot looked like this morning when I was in Forex Fire. Okay, so you can see that. Get this out of the way. So the big change after today. Well, number one, New Zealand's one of the weaker currencies. Canada dollar is now the weakest, so it's the one that's underperforming the economic releases the most. And then Swiss franc still at 17%. But this morning, Aussie dollar was at 57%. It's all the way down to 29% now because they missed pretty badly on their, what was it, PMI reports, I believe it was. Yeah. Yeah, so let's see here. Let me see here. Oh, wait a minute. No, that wasn't Australia. Today's the 23rd, right? Oh.
Yep.
What the heck was
I think we had French, German, PMI the other day.
Yeah, let me just go to my Australia report real quick. Yesterday's PMI data. Yeah, yesterday. So yesterday they had a pretty bad numbers. And this is kind of the up-to-date look on Australia, just to give a little bit of context. So looking at Australia's heat map, this is what we're looking at. So as always, the yellow dates are within the last 7 calendar days. So they haven't had a good time lately. Last week, employment change number was pretty bad compared to the previous number. I mean, that's horrible. 26,000 more jobs, more employment. And then you had 5,300 less this time. So pretty bad report. They had a neutral, meets expectations as far as their unemployment rate, 4.2%. But then yesterday, that's what kind of turned it around. So their PMI data sucked, I guess you could say. I mean, they're still in the expansion territory, but yeah, the manufacturing from 53 all the way down to 51.6. Services 55.8 all the way down to 52. So that's a 3.8 decrease. That's pretty big. So yeah, just after looking at all that, yeah, Australia is trying to come down to the futility bracket with these other currencies. Now the Swiss franc actually picked up a little bit of economic overperformance on one of their reports today. So they had what is? Oh man, I tell you what, some of these calendars, man, they just don't match up. Let's go look at my other calendar. It's not showing what changed here. Today's Tuesday. Their current account. Okay. Switzerland current account. So they just had a crappy number on that. I think that's their trade balance or something like that. But anyway, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that one gained, and then the Australia dollar went down. So that's really the main changes. The top four pretty similar, except the British pound. They had bad PMI data as well. So they went from 60% down to 40%. So it just goes to show how quickly a couple bad reports can flip this to where it's either overperforming or underperforming. So that's just kind of where we sit right now. So yeah, just a 30,000 foot view. What is our strongest currency? So believe it or not, the U.S. dollar is actually the one that's quote unquote overperforming the most out of the 8 majors now. You got your overall average. This is pretty hideous, 32%. So this is basically the case for gold. Is what I'm trying to get at, right? And what happened today? What's happened the last couple of days? Gold's been flying up again.
Yeah,
right.
Wild.
So it's just crazy, man. It's just there's no end in sight. Gold's back on my top setups list. It actually fell off yesterday, but it's back on because of all these hideous PMI datas that are coming out. So
yep.
And then Bitcoin, look at that. Bitcoin is on my bullish list now. That's the first time I've seen Bitcoin on here in a while. It's a +5.
That's interesting. Real quick, I am short one contract on the ES right now. By the way, I saw that the Nasdaq was starting to get a little bit bearish, and so I was like, you know what, I got to get short on the ES here. So I am short on the ES. Just FYI. FYI for everybody. Yeah.
Other notable entries on here: U.S. oil back up to a +7. So this one's been in the neutral camp for quite a while. So yeah, that's going to be what I'm going to look at the most. I've already got an alert set on oil, and I think I have one on Bitcoin, so I need to check that out. Nasdaq is back on the list, +5. So as always, anybody in the chat, anytime I show these top setups, just always keep in mind this is not a signal. Oh, hold on, let me turn off my volume over here. It's not a signal to just go out and buy it because we still have to use the chart to go time the entry, right? So that's essentially all I do. I see it's on a bullish list or a bearish list. I go find the nearest supply or demand zone if it's, whether it's bullish or bearish. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. But I'll just, until here in a second, we'll get over to your chart, but I'll just kind of finish going through my trades real quick this morning. I just took that trade. I just let it profit out. Just wanted to buy it before the supply zone. Sure enough, it goes into the supply zone and kicks backwards. So it's a pretty good thing. I usually just do a handful of pips before the overhead supply. Just take me out before it starts jumping in there because this happens, right? Mm-hmm. This will happen. So if I didn't take that out, I'd have lost all my profits. So let that one go and then focus the rest of the day on my pound New Zealand, which is what I'm in currently. So this one I got in on a 1 hour demand, I believe it was. Yeah, a little bit of a 1 hour demand in here. And get rid of my EMA for a second. So here's the deal. So I got into this trade and then with some new swing points, higher lows for me, and I went ahead and trailed my stop up. I had it to break even when I went to sleep after my stream. So during my sleep, it came up close to the zone, but then we had the Asia session switch over. It dropped, and then it rebounded, went back up. So at this point, whenever I saw this price action, I just trailed it. I trailed my stop losses tight as I could because at the end of the day, we are bouncing into a supply zone now. So even though we've got a bullish signal, a little bit of an uptrend going on, I still want to be aware of that. Very similar to the Aussie New Zealand I just showed. So definitely wanted to lock in at least a 1.5 to 1. profit on it and just give it a
Nice.
little wiggle room to see if we can't make another chew through that zone. And ultimately, right now, I got my take profit on the other side of the supply zone. But I moved it, so it started off the same as the other trade. I had my take profit just below the stop, or just below the supply zone. But again, as I trail the stop up, yeah, this is just where I'm okay sacrificing a few pips. I mean, if it goes against me, then yeah, I get a 1.5 as opposed to a 3, right? So this is just where everybody's got their own risk tolerance, right? A lot of times in the past, I would just leave it a strict 3-1, get my profit taken, but then the sucker goes up 6-1, 7-1, right? Something like that. So you're essentially losing out on it when you do that. So like I said, I'm okay sacrificing potentially a few pips profit for the sake of letting the runners run, right? Anytime we hear let the runners run, that's what it means. I don't like limiting my upside anymore. So yeah, that's where we're at. If we can get on the other side of that stop loss, or if we can get on the other side of the supply zone, then yeah, I'll just go down to like a 5 minute and just trail this stop a little higher. Just keep trailing it and chasing it up. Yeah, I think that first trade, I think it was like a $50 profit. This one right now is a 156 unrealized. So yeah, sitting around 200 on the day. I'll take it.
Nice. Yeah, and you know, it's good that you mentioned like the letting the runners run, mentioning that, because that's personally what I'm really working on, trying to be very strict with myself lately, with being able to manage my trades a little bit better. I've been doing it very well this past week. I've been doing it a lot better this last week. So I think that, like you said, it's worth it to sacrifice just a little bit in order to have those, few trades run. Let's switch to my screen really quickly, because the ES is making a little bit of a move here with the NASDAQ.
Yeah,
right. I'm in the money a couple of points here, $100 or so. What I'm really looking for was the sweep of liquidity of the 6710 area. That's try to get below these two, this or the larger wick on the 15-minute candle that came about at about 8 p.m. Eastern time. That would be the goal, is to close below that and then try to sweep through the liquidity at 6710 that I see on the depth of market at the moment. And then, my optimal take profit is at this value area low from the previous trading session of 6705. Only thing with that is that the market profile from yesterday, since it was so trendy, or this past trading session was so trendy, that it's a little bit disjointed. The distribution is very disjointed. So I have a little bit less faith in some of these levels, aside from point of control. That's a good level, but value area low is not a level I feel as comfortable with, just because of like when I look at the distribution of volume throughout yesterday, it's just a bit odd. And I don't think that there's necessarily a level that people are targeting to the downside there that is like a line in the sand kind of level, like I would usually see for my one standard deviation high or low of the day in which volume traded. So I just have to really keep a close eye on this, because we could also see a situation right here in the short where you see almost like a half bat situation that Michael would say, Coach Michael. It's really not, because it's not a true, like, for me, it's not. It's like, this isn't like the pattern, the H patterns that I talk about, because there's really no like significant downtrend that we then see this hump come about to then reverse back. Not saying that it can't do that, but I'm very aware of it. Essentially, that the fact that we could just simply, right in the middle of this area where we had a decent sell off, we could just reverse right back up. And I think actually Tom was also in a short here on the ES with me. And he just got filled. He just got out of his trade, his short. So that
Mm-hmm.
goes to show you, there are people looking to, there are people with some decent buy orders in this, like in the 67.14 area. Makes me want to make to like, essentially the thought of the half bat situation possibly being in a situation here, and then also with my uneasiness with the levels below, I think that we really can get down to point of control, but I'm just going to de-risk myself because it just doesn't feel as right. It doesn't feel as, I'm not as confident on this short as I normally would be because of the
Mm-hmm.
situations, especially in the overnight. So I'm just going to move it to break even so I don't have to really stress about it here. At least we were a couple points in the money there. It gave us a little bit of breathing room to be able to get ourselves to break even. I've got about 5 ticks or so that it can come against me here. If it takes me out, it takes me out. No big deal. We can always look to get back into the short if it makes sense. But and then on top of that, I'm really wanting to pay attention to gold in this overnight. I really want to make sure that I get a handle on gold here at some
Mm-hmm.
point in this session. I think that there could be a couple of good trades in gold. So just
Yep.
behave, ES and NASDAQ. Just behave right now. Just it's okay. You just had this little tiny bounce. It's fine. It can just be a little bounce, and then we're just gonna go back down. Go right back down to where you belong. Here, let's do an emoji here.
Sounds like
Maybe
you are now dubbed Apostle Paul, says Tom.
yes, yes. This is a ongoing thing from the
Okay.
future session. I'm
Yep.
glad you got out
Yep.
of that. I'm glad you got your take profit there, Tom. That's congrats. Great trade. This short
Yep.
definitely. This is where I sometimes I'm only getting into one mini here. It would be really good to be able to get into a couple minis, like 2 or even 3 minis, be able to catch a couple point move, just get out of a contract or two, and then be able to let the other one ride. um, but in the overnight, especially in the overnight, I'm more uh, I'm more conscious of my position sizing. Like I'm a little bit more conservative. So in the
Mm-hmm.
regular trading hour sessions, sometimes I'll go long a couple contracts. I'll go long. Usually I go long or short one, and then I'll go long or short one more if I'm feeling a little bit more confident after a couple minutes, 2-3 minutes. But in the overnight, I only really do that when it comes to the micros. I can I can get in and out of a few, like 2 or 3 contracts at a time or whatever. But with the minis, it just seems like a lot to deal with the volatility of the overnight. And right there, we just got stopped out for that 1 tick of profit, unfortunately. So it looks like it's coming back here. Let's see what gold's doing.
Yeah.
Gold is going down.
Coming down to people are taking some profits, huh? Potentially.
Yeah.
And that leads me to our poll question. Gold just hit $3,825. Are we going to the moon or are we going to the cellar? So are we buying strength, taking profits, waiting for a pullback, or shorting the top? Don't do that. We'll see what everybody says to that. So far, there's 0% on short the top, so I'm happy to see that.
Yeah.
Happy to see that. We don't want to suck in the shorts and smoke them fools. We want them all to be happy. So but it happens. You can look at whatever time frame chart you want to look at, weekly, daily, monthly, 4 hour, 1 hour. You can see plenty of places where people are shorting the top and getting smoked.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
Can't smoke
Oh
in front of
yeah.
a freight train. Yeah, tough stuff.
Dude, gold is just without mercy. It goes and then it's gone. It's kind of one of those situations where right now I think we're either priming up to we're priming up to break down. I feel like we're either going to bounce right here at this like 690 or 91 level. We're going to bounce up one more time, and maybe some more shorts get in at like 92, 93, and then we go back down. Or we just, this is like, I think this 91 level is like a genuine possible support area where we either hold, it's the line in the sand and then we reverse back upwards, or we're just going to break through it and we're going to drop another $10 or so, because the next larger bit of liquidity that I see is down at 37.83. I want to play the short, but it's so hard to short gold. But the volatility has been so crazy that there's plenty of opportunity both sides between long and short, to be quite honest, even though it's been so bullish. Gosh.
Yeah.
This will be So there's the bounce. It just bounced up to 93 again.
Maybe
there are so many sellers. There are so many sellers, though, at the bottom of this little consolidation range. Like, I see a lot of negative delta here. So, that could be some trapped sellers, as Sam would say. Or we're just going to blow
the
through
trap
it.
House. Yeah, maybe if it comes down a few more bucks, I might take a stab at this demand zone underneath. Possibly. I'm not too happy that it didn't go too far away from that area. That's the only downfall. Man, I missed a good zone yesterday while I was sleeping on gold. I mean, a good one. I still have it drawn up here and everything. Let's see. That would have been. Yeah, dang it. Yep. When I was asleep. I'm going to have to start leaving limit orders on some of these that I feel the strongest as far as like if I've got a very bullish bias to it, like a 9 or a 10 or higher score, because doesn't matter what session I'm on, whenever I'm sleeping, it seems like I'll miss at least one or two that were good. Now I'll have one or two losses mixed in there as well, but assuming 3-to-1 reward to risk, I should be green after that, right? Because I see. It seems like every day I'll see at least 2 demand zones or supply zones that would have profited, and then another 2 that would have had a small loss.
Yep.
I don't know. I like to manage my trades. I don't say that meaning I like to move my stop losses around. I mean, I keep those set the same, but just being able to look at it, turn the corner, and hit and close at that 13 EMA at times, or get that bullish engulfing candle I like to look for, and the volume spike just to verify that's possible institutional volumes picking up. I like to be able to look at those things. It's just you can't do that when you do a limit order, but you also can't make money when you're missing zones in your sleep.
Yeah.
I might just, what I think I'll do? I think I'll just test it out the rest of the week. I'll just, like, before I go to sleep after Forex fire, or even my nap here later on, I'm just going to do that. I'll just test out maybe a couple or 3 zones that are fairly close. Just put on small risk, just to kind of see how they do, how they perform. Yeah, it's worth it, right? There's some limit orders on.
Yeah. I did. So I got short the 2 MGC micro gold contracts for the breakdown, and we we broke it by $1 an ounce there, and were met with some pretty harsh volume. But looks like we might start breaking now. So I've got my target kind of pretty far down there. Like I said, 37.83. So if it happens quickly, that would be awesome, but not expecting it to happen quickly, if at all. The volatility, of course, is crazy, so it could happen very quickly, but a big bid or a big offer just came in at 37.90 half and just got immediately filled. Like, buyers just jumped right up to it to take it out. So,
do you mind zooming your chart out just a little bit? I just want to see to your left there, that
Oh
little
yeah,
swing
sure,
point
sure,
down. Oh, okay. No, I was
sure.
just looking to see what it looked like on your chart. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I
Immediately,
was,
we just yeah.
I guess, yeah, right there in your 3788 level, there's this little zone there I was looking at. But the only thing I dislike about trying to buy that is the fact that when price left that zone upward, it didn't really break a former zone or a former high point. So I'm just going to avoid it. I was
Yeah,
thinking about it
yeah.
though for a minute. Yeah, it looks pretty.
Well, I will
Still thinking about it.
say that
Not gonna
the
lie.
amount of volume that came in at this 3790 area, there were, okay, let's just do some quick math here, about 200 contracts that came in, and then we immediately popped back into that small little range. If I go to the 1 minute chart here.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at if we just draw that, I'm probably going to get stopped. Honestly, I'm starting to think there might be a little bit of a long bias here, but now right where that purple box is, that's kind of the range I'm talking about. We break out of that and then immediately pop
Yeah.
back up. This bullish, or this white candle had a ridiculous amount of like harsh positive delta to it, and then also harsh negative delta right below the super positive deltas. So to me, it was like sellers got trapped, a bunch of buyers came in, bought a ton, and then it popped up. So maybe those sellers got a little bit trapped. We popped up a couple bucks here, and then to get back into that range, and now it's trying to do the tug of war thing again. It's trying to understand, okay, do we just consolidate up above the 91 area to then make a run up, or are we gonna just now try to retest this low? And like it looks like it's breaking down here again. So huge tug of war at the moment. I mean, I'm going to stay in the short because it's definitely got a chance to break, like to actually make a pretty large breakdown. But this kind of is starting to feel like a possible flip of a coin, like might be 60-40 in my favor here, but not going to make any money if I don't put a little bit of risk on. So let's just stay with the bearish sentiment and keep the trade on, see what we
Yeah.
can do, see if we can't capture
Um,
like $8 an ounce.
yeah, and Paul, I think I'm going to mention real quick. So just so everybody knows, looks like we might possibly be giving away a 5K Forex challenge tonight, an actual challenge account. So if you guys have won, great. We're just trying to find some newer people. So I would recommend, if you guys and gals know anybody that may be looking for an account or likes to trade, maybe looking to jump into a challenge account, you might mention that to them, because we'll be on for another about an hour or 20 minutes or so. But yeah, we're just trying to flip it around a little bit. We've been doing a lot of them during the day. We're trying to do the same thing at night. But obviously, we got to have traders that have not won yet, and that have subscribed to the two YouTube channels of ours, the Hola Prime TV, the Hola Prime Global, and then just make sure your email address is updated in your YouTube profile. But yeah, give us a chat. Let us know if that's something that you might be interested in, or yeah, just let us know, because if we can find a winner tonight, somebody that has not won, that's eligible by meeting that
Yeah.
criteria, then yeah, we could definitely consider that. But it'll be a 5K Forex account. So yeah, anybody watching, if you want to let any of your friends, families, acquaintances, anybody of that nature, we'll be on here for about another hour, 20 minutes. Just have them follow those steps, and if we find a winner, we'll definitely consider it. If not, then we'll just obviously push it onto the next stream. So. But yeah, been giving away a lot of them in the earlier sessions, so we thought we'd open that up to the evening ones as well. I say evening because me and Coach Paul, we're here in the U.S., so it's about 8:39 my time, 9:39 his time. So, but yeah, just wanted to throw that out there, everybody. So just let us know if you have any thoughts on that. And as always, if there's any charts or analysis on anything else you want us to do, just go ahead and throw that out. This session is for you guys. We obviously go through our days, how our trades went for the day, but That's just kind of the only basic structure we have. And then at that point, we just kind of open it up to everybody else in the chat. So just let us know. Let us know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, man. Thank you for mentioning that. I glad that we are possibly able to give away a nice little 5K Forex 2-step Prime Challenge account. So will be nice if we can give that away for sure.
Yeah, we shall see.
Oh my!
Do the 2-step.
I almost got just taken out there. I'm probably going to get taken out. This looks like a failed breakdown at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the interesting thing is the indices are very positively correlated with gold right now. So if I was to get short it, or if I was thinking that gold's about to go up, it looks like indices want to follow that. So I want to avoid trying to play opposite sides of like the indices versus gold or anything like that. If I'm in one gold trade, I'm probably not going to get into one of the indices in the same manner because I just don't want to be double exposed to the same kind of
risk.
upside or downside. Yeah, exactly. So if anything, I would just get out of the position and then enter whatever structure made more sense between the indices and gold. If I'm a loser on this trade here, it definitely looks like a failed breakdown. And let's see here. If we look at the 5-minute, like I was saying, we had this previous low at like 8 p.m. Eastern that we rocketed right up immediately. So it seems like this 91, 92 area is some kind of support. And I might want to just call this a loss here and just take off the trade. But you just never know because the volatility is so crazy. Like this thing will whip like $2 an ounce within 5 seconds. And then all of a sudden sellers or buyers will come in that you're not expecting. And then it'll go in your favor. So, but we'll just let it go. We'll let it go. If I get taken out, no big deal.
Let it go.
Maybe I'll move it right above the 50 period EMA there. Yeah, let's do that. What's a few extra bucks here? All right. Perfect.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm going to ixnay the Nikkei idea because the NASDAQ, so the Nikkei is actually a +4, so it's technically neutral. Now, the NASDAQ's a +5, so that's got a little bit better of a bullish bias. So I'm now going to ixnay the Nikkei idea and just pay attention to the NASDAQ. The NAS 100. See if I can't. And it's a very similar price structure too. So we'll see. Bounced on a demand already. It's retracing. Maybe I can find a smaller time frame demand and hop aboard the tiger train. Here we go. I'm do this. I'll draw that demand. Really don't need it to retrace very much. Maybe 10, 15 bucks. Yeah. I will holler if that hits, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Put an alert there. Alert.
It would be awesome if buyers just failed right now, just like that. That would be cool. We can just keep that up. I did add one micro there at the top because the risk was so minimal at that point. I was like, I'll just add the 1 micro for like an $8 extra risk here to give my range a little bit better of a probability of getting back in the money here. But we just quickly dropped like $1.50 there within like a second. Nice. And then, but who knows? I don't know this could just be a 1 second drop and then immediately rocket back upwards. So wouldn't be surprised at all. Here we go. See, like this is gold right now. Super volatile. Kind of reminds me of how the NASDAQ will move in the regular trading hour sessions. It kind of moves like that, oddly enough, especially during the regular trading hour sessions when there's more volume in gold. But yeah, Very reminiscent.
Right.
Oh, here we go. It's going up. It's funny if this is a tough one. This is a tough one. Oh my gosh. Just take me out already. It's okay. It's okay.
Just put him out of his misery.
It's all
or
right.
just drop like a rock. That way he can have his capital back.
Please.
Yeah, we brought
here we
brought
go.
that up again.
We're about to get. It's about to happen, I think. There's some decent liquidity at 37.94, which we just got within 5 ticks of. My stop is at 37.93.8. So every time there's a drop, there's like a $1 drop, it immediately gets bought up, which is why I feel like this is going to possibly just rocket to the upside at some point.
Yeah.
If I get stopped, if there's like a big run, like a $5 run, and then it immediately fails, and then we just start breaking the lows of the overnight, I will laugh so hard if that happens. But goodness.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the 10-minute chart, I mean, there's
whoa.
Oh, there you go.
Look at this.
Wow.
Gold is
Ask
so
and you
funny,
shall receive.
Gold is hilarious. Look at this, dude. Oh my gosh. I mean, right back down to that lower, that 30, well, right below 37.90. Dude, I just am.
Where's my XA?
I am beyond myself right now. Now are all the longs just gonna puke, and then we're just gonna try to make that drop to the area that I was thinking? Or are we gonna get supported again here? Our buyer's gonna step in. Like,
silver.
That was a very valiant effort from the sellers there, but I don't know. This will be.
Well, I mean, if it comes a few bucks lower, I might take a stab at a 5-minute demand zone.
Yeah,
but
to the long side,
to the long side, just because it's. So here's the thing. So XAU, and I'm sure it probably looks the same on yours. On a 1 hour chart, it bounced into a demand zone already, a pretty decent one. So from it'd be 3 a.m. your time, 3 a.m. 1 hour demand zone. It bounced into it earlier, about 2 o'clock. So then it bounced up, but then it just kind of got lazy and is retracing that move. So I'm personally just looking at some smaller time frames in and around where it bounced from that 1 hour demand to see if I want to take a stab at the 5-minute demand that formed within it. Because we had a really nice strong upward move at around, I guess it'd be about 3:20 your time. So that's the up move I'm keeping a little bit of an eye on. Because it was a nice move. The only problem is it wasn't strong enough to get up to a former supply zone or a supply zone up to the left. But it did break a little bit you did have a little bit of a break of structure of the 3 p.m. your time, little jump up before the fall down. So I don't know. Mm-hmm. Do I want to take a chance on a strong, smaller time frame move, but not necessarily one that was strong enough to break a former resistance or supply zone? So that's kind of where I'm at. But you got to risk it to biscuit. And I'm feeling pretty froggy because I got an awesome runaway gap, fair value gap, novice gap, whatever you want to call it, just ahead of that zone on a 1 minute time frame and a 5-minute time frame. So I'm going to just write this order up and see if I want to hit the trigger button here in a second.
Go. We just moved down like $3 or I don't know. What is that? $5 an ounce within 4 minutes. So I'm moving my stop to break even at this point. $90 in the money on 3 contracts. This feels pretty good. It feels like the break is happening. I don't know whether it's going to actually go down to 37.83.7. I'm where I have my target profit. I can put it at 37.84. But this is moving so quickly. It's just tough to. I can't like manage my. I can't like trail my stop well on this kind of trade. Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to maximize profit. I'm trying to let it run, but the volatility is so wild that you can't really trail it like much. You just have to like, if you're going to move it to break even, fine, it's at break even, but you just have to give it the room that it needs. Cause like, look at this, man, dude, it's just gonna,
Yeah.
this thing
So it just
looks
now hit. Looking mad, huh? Yeah. Just now hit the demand zone, the 5-minute demand. So I'm just watching the 1 minute to see if I get a bullish reversal candle or engulfing, or if I see a giant amount of volume start to come in. Only if I get that will I trigger this. I don't want to just blindly get in here because it was a pretty strong drop, obviously. So I have to be aware of the momentum. Even though the momentum coming out of the demand zone was actually a little stronger, so I might feel good about it. It's only $25. All right, here we
look
go.
at that. Jeez.
All right, I pulled the trigger. We're gonna see what happens. That 1 minute candle completely engulfed the candle to the left, so we'll see. We'll see what that does.
This is one of those situations where like I see this big jump up here, but I don't know if it's just going to be a fake out to the upside and then we're just going to slam back down again. Like this is the whole, you need to just give it room. I don't know if we're going to drop further. I mean, we could, or that could have just been a really good support there, and then buyers just stepped in massively. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm keeping my break even stop essentially here. I'm actually going to put it a little bit less. Yeah, there we go. So like $3. I would like lose $3 on this trade essentially, if it runs all the way back up here.
Good news is one of us will win.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, how long are you planning on holding it? How long are you trying to hold this for?
Just to that, I guess it'd be for you the equivalence of about 37.93. Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind.
Right.
I'm sorry. It'd be the next swing high up to your upper left. I'm sorry. I mean, on the
okay.
XAU, it'd be 37.70. So we're talking, your 3,800 area, looks like.
Okay. So 38.
It went on a 5-minute zone, so I'm just going to give it a little bit of wiggle room. And the only reason I'm doing that is because, again, it is giving me a bullish bias. So,
of course.
The demand zone itself, again, the momentum coming out of that 5-minute demand was superior.
Oh yeah.
As always,
I'm
my own worst critic. So if I had to criticize it, again, I just wish that the demand zone would have broken structure. But technically, the 1 minute did. But I'm more so looking at the 5-minute. But that would be way up at 37.80 for me. So probably like 38.30 for you or something like that. That was the nearest zone I was looking at.
Right.
So we'll see.
I'll say, I'm kind of hoping that I'm hoping at least at the worst for you that if we drop back down, we do find one of those demands, like a stronger demand zone where we then pop back up into that 3,800 area, because 3,800 seems to be, but like, honestly, I think that your long is pretty darn good here, man. I don't think my short has as good of play anymore. I think it was kind of more like take advantage of the drop and get out, which, to be honest, on the micros here, that would have been good. It would have been like $120 or so to make. But to be real, like I really wanted to see us try and sweep more liquidity here. And I'm trying to train myself, to hold things a little bit longer, give things a little bit of a chance here. But if we see some nice upside momentum, I would love, dude, Nothing more I would love than to see us get back up to 3,800. Maybe I would join in along with you at some point and ride it up with you here. But
Yeah, like
all
Thursday
right.
or whatever day that was, Tuesday last week.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly, dude. That was a
That was
fun
a fun
one. That
session.
was so,
Yeah.
that was.
You know?
The interesting thing
Um,
that I'm seeing on the thing that I'm seeing on gold right now on these 1 minute candles is like the volume on the okay, I just got stopped out. So I got a $2 loss there or something on that trade. That's
oh,
crazy,
okay.
dude. But these up candles, like these larger candles, aren't on nearly as much volume as those sell candles. So I don't know what to think. I think just sellers kind of died out, maybe. Like there was just so much selling
Yeah.
pressure and then eventually they died out. I don't know.
Do you
If
mind
I get
if
stopped out there,
flip over
yeah,
to my
yeah,
chart
yeah,
for
yeah,
just a quick sec? Yeah, I'll just
yeah.
kind of go through what I was looking at on gold there. Um, yeah, back end. If you can flip on over, I'll just go through real quick what I was looking at for gold. The Goldilocks. Yeah, so when it comes to the gold trade, so obviously this was the zone I'm looking at, the 5 minutes. I mean, that's a pretty good strong move. Again, the only downfall is that it didn't have enough. It didn't have enough to get up and break a structure above or break through the supply zone. So it's
Hmm.
really just kind of a short, quick move. That's why I ain't trying to take a profit way up here. I'm just going to go back to the top, basically at this range right here. So, um, but yeah, that was the only knock. Now, the reason I even entertained it to begin with is because if I go to a 1 hour, you had this demand zone that it bounced into, like I said earlier. So if I just draw this up, so there's the demand that it bounced into in this area here, be 1 o'clock my time, 1 and 2 o'clock central. So it hit and it bounced and it had a pretty good amount of volume right there on that 1 hour candle. Now again, it just didn't go as high as I wanted. So 1 hour time frame, if I were watching at this time, to be quite honest, I'd have probably gotten in right here. But again, I was asleep. So, um, but this is just more of a second chance type of a trade that I was looking at. So yeah, price comes down, has enough volume to turn it around, and then in the wake is where I kind of saw that 5 minute candle. So that's basically my second chance, just trying to see if we can get a score off of it. And then yeah, I mean, as
Hmm.
far as RSI goes, we did have a little bit of divergence, nothing too crazy. But like, yeah, I was just kind of looking at this lower low, but also on the RSI down below, we had just a little bit of divergence where that high was a little higher than this previous high. So not the best divergence, but it's clearly a little bit higher. So that's the kind of divergence I was looking at. So yeah, just a simple drop into the zone itself. And yeah, I saw this candle that came in, and then the candle coming out was an engulfing candle. So I mean, that's exactly what I
Yeah.
like to see. Now, again, as always, I like to criticize my own work. The criticism I would find on this, if it turns around and stops me out, is that the volume wasn't really the greatest on that engulfing candle. So that's really the only
Hmm.
downfall. But uh, yeah, most of my parameters look pretty good.
Dude, look at this
What?
range. It's so funny. Like we just okay, so my stop was at 37.91 something, which was like a tick or two negative or close to break even, but it was like minus $3 or whatever on the trade. After being up so up 40 ticks, it comes back up, stops me out, goes back into the middle of that previous range, and then dumps $2 an ounce right there within literally 20
Yeah,
seconds. Like, so
yeah,
basically, the volatility is requiring you, even when you in gold here, even when you are like $4 or $5 in the money in terms of like per ounce, you're not safe. Like if you want to let something play out for a longer ride down or a longer ride up, being at break even's probably not going to do you any justice if you're trying to hold on longer term. You're going to have to keep that extra risk on wherever that original stop loss was that you had. Because now, like if instead of me keeping my stop loss or instead of me moving my stop loss to my break even point and keeping it at 90 or 37, 93.8, I'm still in this move here and we're back down to 37, 88 or 89. It's just like, the range is hilarious, but in a cool, in a good way. It's like a lot of opportunity, but provides a lot of learning lessons as well when trading things like this overnight. But it's kind of exciting, honestly.
Yeah, no, exactly. And honestly, NASDAQ and then the Nikkei, which I already said I'm going to avoid just because I'm going to pay more attention to the NASDAQ being a little bit higher score. It's basically done the exact same thing as like everything I just explained on gold. NASDAQ's done the same thing, except it did it off of a 4-hour demand and then coming down. Again, I was asleep during that time, so I missed the trade. So same thing. I mean, I'm going down to a 5-minute demand right here. I'm just going to keep an eye on that just to see what happens if we come back. Same thing. If we get a bullish, engulfing candle or some volume behind it, something with a wick underneath, might take a stab at NASI as well. Might. Now, having said that, you just said that they were positively correlated, right? So I'm glad you said that. So for that reason, I may actually not. I need to actually pay a little more correlations like that. I'll be honest, that's something I've never done a ton of, but I should probably start doing it.
I mean, it's one of those things for me. I'm just usually like paying attention to like multiple markets at the same time. So if I can catch that like a market is moving with another market, then I just keep it in my brain for a sec, for a little while. And then I check back on it every so often. I'm like, okay, are they still doing the same thing? Are they a little bit dislocated now? I do that a lot between, the Dow, the NASDAQ, the S&P 500. And then I obviously do that between like gold and the NASDAQ or gold and the S&P 500. And then really that's kind of it actually, just generally speaking. And actually, no. I will look at the Russell and what the Russell is doing in comparison to like the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ. But those are really the main ones that I try to keep. I do. I should probably start doing that. Hey, real quick, Paul, I just want to address, welcome Cha G. Welcome to the chat, brother. He says, please help me. Which device should I choose to go into trading? Phone, tablet, laptop, or PC? Can you help guide me, bro? Absolutely. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I think, and then we'll see what Paul thinks on it. For me personally, I need a big screen, so I cannot trade or place trades on a phone or even a tablet. I mean, I've never really had a tablet. I've always just had laptops myself, but it's just so much easier and quicker. And you can see the details a lot easier when you got a bigger screen. So even just a regular laptop's fine, but or a computer screen, whatever it is you have. It's just so quick, so much quicker. And you've got access to more. It's just easier to access all your indicators, oscillators, if you happen to have those types of things. I really don't. It's just more naked charts with a RSI and a couple other things. But you'll find that if you're trying to place trades on a phone, it just takes longer. In my opinion, it just takes way too long.
Oh, yeah.
But it's so much easier to do on a laptop or computer. Now, having said that, if I'm in a trade and I need to go to the store or whatever, that's fine. I mean, I can always monitor my trade on the phone. That's not a problem because that's usually pretty decently simple just to be able to, if I need to move my stop loss to break even or move my take profit out, if I'm trying to chase down more profits. That tends to be a lot easier. But as far as doing all your analysis on a phone, it's just so difficult to do. A lot of people do it because a lot of people have signal services, right? So they just simply blindly put in what the signal says. Now, it's not the greatest thing to do. I don't really recommend, trading signals. I just recommend learning how to do it yourself. But I can promise you it's so much easier to do on a computer versus the tiny screen of a phone where you got a touch screen and move stuff all around. And it's so hard to do like accurate trend lines or fib lines if you're trying to put a fib on, right? You may not hit the tops as evenly as maybe you should. So, or in my case, writing up a supply and demand rectangle. I've tried many times. I'll be away from my computer and try to write up a supply or demand zone that I want to keep track of. And just, it's hard to do on a small screen. Plus I have fat summer sausage fingers. So it's difficult. Sausage. Yeah. Daddy had the same thing. He gave me the summer sausage fingers. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. But as far as just managing your trade when you're out and about, going to the store or whatever, yeah, I mean that's not a problem at all. So that's my thoughts. Paul, did you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I am very adamant, specifically with futures trading, like PC. Just you should have a PC. As much processing power as possible to allow things to be smooth and to be able to see things smoothly and allow your applications to run smoothly, especially when you have a lot of charting software and especially if you're running multiple monitors. But I think having, like you said, some bigger screens to be able to do some analysis and everything and execute your trades on is very important in futures. And I personally would not manage a futures trade, specifically futures trades. I wouldn't be like that. My trading style isn't to get in a futures trade and be in it for 5 hours. So I'm not going to be getting into a futures trade and then look at them on my phone and manage it. But if you're a swing trader in the futures, that's a whole different story. I mean, I don't really have much of an opinion on that, but for me, I'm 100% PC. And if you have a good laptop, then and you can connect some monitors to it or whatever, and it runs just fine, then I wouldn't stop you from doing that either. But it's different for like stocks and stuff in terms of like if you're just like buying some stocks for your like an investment portfolio or like your retirement account or whatever, and you just want to buy a few shares of Nvidia or something for like, that's a different story. That's just an easy, 1-2 click on your phone. But yeah, no phone for me in the futures trading world here. That is, I don't like that. I'm not about that. I mean,
it's funny. It's funny because I actually, and I'll admit this because we're all about transparency here, right? I actually, for a very short period of time, several years ago, did sign up for a signal service. And it involved looking at like 3 or 4 different oscillators and indicators. And when they all match up, you get in the trade. It was just a short-term scalp, go for 3 to 5 pips, something like that, close it. And that's back when I drove for medical transport. So I drove all over Kansas and Missouri and Oklahoma, Nebraska even at times to pick up clients and take them to their appointments. Well, I had a lot of dry time where I was just me and my thoughts driving these long distance trips. So I actually was on my phone while I'm driving. I'd be getting these signals and I'd flip over to my chart real quick and I would try to get in and out of these scalp trades. It was a mess. I actually had one day where I had like 10 winners in a row, and I thought, my God, this is easy. I'm gonna be a millionaire in no time. But yeah, then you come crashing back to earth because average is average, and while it was fun and exciting in the moment, I realized real quick it's just not sustainable, especially on a phone, because I couldn't get the full details, wasn't really learning anything, and it was just literally just blindly, oh, okay, do this, fine, I'll do this, fine, I'll do this, fine, I'll do this. I got rid of that pretty quick because I realized I wasn't learning anything, and I just think I got lucky on that 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever it was in a row. It might have been 12 or 15, I can't remember. But I just was freaking out. But yeah, you can get lucky with just about any strategy for a while, but then average is average and the numbers will catch back up to you. So it was super stressful while driving down the highway, which I should not have been doing to begin with for safety reasons. And I'm a paid driver at that point, so I'm paid to be safe and all of that. So it was out of control, let's just say, for about a couple months because I was doing that. But it was
Right,
so
right.
stressful because the whole time doing that, I'm like, I'm not learning anything and I can't see anything. I mean, I had a decent
Yeah,
sized phone screen, but it was just so difficult to do and having to go back from app to app. It was just an absolute mess. So quickly, that burned out real quick. But it was all because I couldn't pay attention to it on my computer and see all the details. I was lacking.
right, right. Yeah, and I will say, like, and I'm not one to say that, like, when I was more so like, when I was focused on a long while ago, when I was focused on swing trading stock positions, and I would just take larger positions in certain stocks, like blue chip stocks and whatnot, and I'd be holding them for days at a time. You know I fell more into the habit of kind of like what you were saying, like, do my research at night. I would do my research, after market hours, look at certain
Mm-hmm.
stocks and point out areas where I'd be like, okay, I do my analysis, point out where I'd want to get in, get out, etc. And, but then I would execute on my phone during the day, and I just check my position on my
Yeah.
phone, throughout the day. And then, like, if there was something that happened and I needed to look at a chart on my phone, like, I would do it. Like, the software for the broker that I use, like, is great and everything. And like, I can look at things nicely and whatnot, but like, it wasn't the point of like trying to do my major analysis on my phone. It was at the first stocks, and this is for stock stuff specifically. Futures is so much more leverage. Like, I wasn't using any sort of leverage or anything with, like, these swing trading stock positions. It wasn't like, it was relatively conservative and whatnot. And that's why I say specifically for futures, it's just like, for me, no go. Just PC. You're analyzing everything on the PC. You're getting in and you're getting out of your trades on your PC, and you're keeping an
Mm-hmm.
eye on these suckers. So, just a different game. It's a completely different game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
don't
That's back
and
when I
don't.
was strategy hopping. Like, let's try a signal service, see what it does. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, yeah, I think, and there were times that I shouldn't have been getting in and out of trades and on my phone. So I'm not like, I'm not one to say that, I've never done that or anything. Like,
Yeah.
I've done stuff that I wasn't supposed to do a long while ago. So, this is more
Yep.
so just
We all
coming
have.
from, yeah, relative experience, So,
Yeah. Yeah. We've all wasted
uh,
money in some way, shape, or form with a signal service or
yeah, I've never
something like
actually
that.
had I've never done one of those before, but I've seen, it's so funny, the amount of friends that I have had, like, have, had that have talked to me about trading stuff because they're, interested in what I'm doing or whatever. And I've had a few that are like,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, I actually know somebody that's also a trader. They subscribe to this guy or this girl that, like, then just gives
Yeah.
them, these things to get into or get out of, or like short or whatever. And they're doing really good. And I'm like, I'm glad for them. Like, good. Like, we'll see, like, but like, I've never personally so, like, the one guy was like, yeah, this girl that I know is doing it. Like, she's getting she's subscribing to this guy, and he's giving out his signals and whatever. And she made like, it was like her salary. She made like her salary in like 3 months or something. And she's like,
Yeah.
or he was like, she's like gonna quit and like start doing this full time. And I was like, oh my goodness. I don't know. Like, whenever you have to rely on somebody to make your living,
Well,
that's a different game of like, geez, you're
yeah.
really playing with fire here. But what if they stop giving out signals all of a sudden? Then what are you going to do? So,
Yeah. Well,
uh,
that was the
you
thing.
know,
So this was a signal service to where I go and turn around and put the trade on myself. They also had a thing where you set up a separate account and then they'll actually place the trades for you with their strategy. I got into that and then I wasn't in it long. I'm like, this makes me feel really bad I'm
Yeah.
sitting here relying on somebody else that I've never met and was watching some of their videos and realizing they're like half my age, which is not a bad thing, but like they don't have the experience. You could tell they
Right.
just you could just tell that they how do I be nice about this? Yeah, like almost like they were wet behind the ears. Like you could tell they hadn't been
Right.
trading that long, and they learned something quick from somebody, and now they're trying to apply it. It was just a sketchy setup to begin with. So
Yeah.
yeah, but that
There was
right there was where I kind of hit the wall. I'm like, no, I'm going to figure this crap out myself. I'm not going to rely on
Yeah.
the man. I want to be the man. Woo!
Yeah, it's like it's funny when you can like there's an interesting combination sometimes with people where you can combine like a little bit of knowledge with a lot of ignorance, and it can have a super positive outcome for yourself if like you are
Yeah.
somewhat knowledgeable, but then you're so blind to so many other things, it gives you that false confidence and allows you to execute things that if you had known what you were blind to, you might have gave it a second thought, because maybe in your eyes it's like or in their, I should specifically say the people you're talking about, in their eyes it's like a 75% probability of a winner, where in reality what they're blind to, it's like it's a 25% chance of them being a winner, but they hit that 25% and it worked. That's the thing. And then we're all ignorant, and let's put it this way, we're all ignorant to things in the markets, don't get me wrong. So everybody's kind of together in this to some degree in terms of ignorance in the markets. But I think that, like you said, the more time you put into the markets, the more you learn, the more you understand, okay, how do I avoid X, Y, and Z that seems to consistently get me out of trades or keep me from making good trades, etc., and focus on the A, B, and C that have really proven to be consistent and allow me to execute with high precision and stay in trades or stay in strategies that have higher probabilities and whatnot. So I know that was a lot of mumbo jumbo there, but it's
no, that's good stuff. That's so true though.
Yeah,
man, I tell you what, this New Zealand USD setup driving me nuts. I'd picked this 4-hour demand and we came back as I was looking at it on some smaller time frames after it had touched in. And you know what? I might still have my play on this. But either way, we had a demand form on a 30-minute right here. Price. So first of all, price came down, got a nice break of structure, but then it retraced, hit the second chance, which I wasn't even watching, and it went up. So that's almost a 3-to-1. And now,
oh god,
we're kind of in a similar spot. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking I'm going to finally do on this thing. I've been watching it for a couple of days, as you can tell. But just, there's always one little thing that doesn't look right. But now, perhaps now, we might have an opportunity to jump in this thing. At this point, I might just keep an eye on this little demand here on a 15-minute. See what we get there, because if I go back to the 1 hour, got this nice curl action going. Oops. So that's what I'm looking at. It's got a nice curl. Is it going to continue to curl up? A little cup and handle action, as they call it. We shall see.
Yeah.
So I might just keep an eye on this. Now, before I take a look at that demand, I've got one specific rule it has to follow. I need price to break this structure, close anywhere up here, and then come back. And then I will set an order for that. That's going to be my request. If it's not met, c'est la vie. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to go ahead and put an alert in here just to see what happens. I'll just throw it out till Thursday. Actually, I'll just throw it for the end of the week, into the intraday week or intra week. however you label that. All right. So yeah, that's kind of the idea there.
I am still just perplexed by gold right now. It is. I'm almost just have my. I'm still trying to not be in shock and awe from that past trade that I got stopped out of. Like, I can't believe it was like 6 ticks that I was away from, being able to stay in that trade, and we're back down to 37.87 now, and we reached as low as 37.85 half, and we're still in a downtrend, relatively speaking, in it. So it's just wild, man. I mean, the indices were starting to turn up a little bit, and I was about to say, okay, we might be starting to dislocate between gold and the indices. Nope. NASDAQ just kind of pulled back, just came back down here, and the ES is trying to come down again as gold is coming down a little bit. So contemplating getting into a full mini here.
I guess I just realized looks like my pound New Zealand trade's out. So yeah, it did end up hitting that supply and bouncing back the other way. So there we go. So I put my stop loss. Yeah, so I ended up trailing my stop on this. So it made a pretty good run. So here's where I bought in demand and ended up closing right here on this candle. So not bad. I trailed it pretty tight because I knew that zone was going to give it fits. I ended up trailing it, I think, under this. Let's go to my 1 minute. Yeah, so that candle there on the sharpest volume too. I didn't put in a $100 million order. Why is that volume so big? Yeah, I had my alert or my take profit just right in this area. Look at that. My candle where I got out. Look at that. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's my $100 million take profit. And then I
That's so, dude. It's like, yeah, by the way, I just put on my bank gave me a little bit of a loan there and allowed me to leverage about $100 million worth of
okay, so 102.73. So that means I'm up 144 bucks on the day. I'll take it.
Nice.
Oh, and for full transparency, you guys see how miserable last week was, right? There you go. All right, a lot of red, a lot of ugliness. That was me trying to catch trades in and around all the news events, right?
Right.
Chiefly the interest rate decision. I felt pretty good about some things, but clearly I overestimated it. So just for context, 144 bucks is nice, but I got a little bit of digging to do. Now the week before that was pretty good. So, but there you go. It's the ebbs and flows of your balance. That's what it can look like at times.
Man. Yeah, you're good. I mean, I'm right there with you. I had a bit of a bad day a few weeks ago on one of my accounts that really put me in a hole on it, and it took me about 2 weeks, and I finally pulled out of it. So it's just one of those things where. Yeah, at least you did it over like a span of time. Like you were more consistent with you just had a relatively bad week. Like every other day you were logging, a loss here or there or whatever. For me, it was just like one day where nothing was going right. Literally nothing was going right. And I continued to trade it until essentially my max loss that I had for myself for a day. And I was just like, all right, well, we'll call it quits here. And start a new day, and then it all turned around from there. But it took a while to get out of that hole and be back in the green. So,
and I've noticed a little bit of a trend. So when I have a pretty good week, I usually follow it up with a not so good week because I've observed for me, and I would assume this probably happens for a lot of people, whether you're new or experienced. You get a little big headed after having that good week, and then you come in the early part of the next week raring to go, and that you got that overconfidence at times. Maybe you break a rule or two. I didn't get an engulfing candle. It's okay. Oh, that supplier demand zone wasn't as big as I prefer it to be, but that's okay. I could take it. Kind of treat it like a support or
Yeah.
resistance line. Well, I didn't get a break of structure, but that's okay because I have faith in this zone, right? I've noticed where I'll do that. So I'm glad to go through it with everybody so that I can teach that now. Hey, when you come back the week after having a great week, nothing changes. Like where it changed for me over these last few different times is, yeah, I've just noticed I got a little too relaxed on not requiring all my rules to hit. Oh, I just have a
Right.
demand zone
Right.
hit. Perfect. I'm a buy, right? Without going through the odds enhancers that keep me filtered out of the bad zones.
Mhm.
So yeah, I was actually glad to go through that. It gives me something to
Yeah.
focus on. Um, but anyway, man, I gotta run to the loo real quick. Do you mind taking over just for a few
Yeah.
minutes?
Yeah. You're
Okay.
good. You're good.
All right. Water's getting to me. Thanks, man.
All right. Cool. Yeah, you got it. All right, guys. So we can switch to my screen really quickly. All right. Perfect. Awesome. So I've just been watching gold like crazy, honestly. I'm just continuing to watch gold here, and I want I want to be short so bad. I really want to be short here. I do want to be short, but unfortunately, there's just not the greatest risk to reward that existed like I had up in the 91 area. And it's one of those situations where you have to be like comfortable essentially with like what Coach Tiger was just talking about, where you'd have to be like lax on your kind of rules that you have for yourself to get into a trade. And I don't want to be lax on them. I don't want to just jump in because, hey, yeah, we're still in like this bearish downtrend channel. But if I'm getting short, for example, like right here where we bounced up back to this little like hump, here I can draw a little box here. Sure, I could have gotten short right here where we had a somewhat of a pullback, or I could have gotten short here, or I could have gotten short here at this other box that I've drawn on these like kind of quote unquote like pullbacks, but for the short side. So like, yeah, I could have gotten short there, but like, what am I getting short there off of? An EMA, a 21 period EMA on the 1 minute. Like, that's not a ton of information to say to me, oh, I'm confident about getting into this short based on just a 21 period EMA. Yes, there was a lot of selling pressure here, but again, this could have been like a situation where if with this, when I'm going to draw this box real quick down here, where we had support twice and then broke through that area ever so slightly by like a buck or two, came back above it, broke through it again, but then came back into it. That could have been easily a reversal situation. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to be able to necessarily predict that. So just getting short at these tops here off of like an EMA just feels like not very diligent. It feels more risky and like I'm taking more risk than what I should be taking. So I just, of course, I miss a little bit of, green there, but it's all right because, I missed out on green this time, but who knows how many times I would log a red trade there. So to each their own, but the trade that I had originally was like the higher probability trade, and unfortunately the ridiculous amount of volatility got me stopped out ever so slightly, and when then it continued, but that's all right. Like, this would have been right now about $150 trade, $170 trade, I believe, at this point, but like, so what? I can make I can make that on a mini contract in 30 seconds in a regular trading hour session. So I'm not gonna sweat about it. didn't really miss out on much or anything. So just forge ahead, see if there's any other higher probability opportunity. The NASDAQ is dislocating from gold now, as we talked about earlier, Tiger, with like the correlations. So like you look at the NASDAQ here, look, it's pumping to the upside all of a sudden. It's gapping up actually, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. So this is
I better go take a look at my NASDAQ.
Definitely dislocated there from that correlation that we were seeing. Same with the ES. And I'm going to assume the Dow. Yep, the Dow as well. So indices are to the upside now, while gold continues to look to put some downwards pressure.
Why couldn't it have done that the opposite? Why couldn't the indices be going down and gold be the one going up? Well, that's why I just put a $25 risk on it. I just put a small one because it is, at the end of the day, a pretty narrow range.
Yeah.
But in the context of the 1 hour demand, that's where I felt pretty good about taking a small stab at it. Oh, we'll see.
Yeah.
We shall see.
As Coach Tony says ever so eloquently, scared money don't make no money.
That's right. Yeah, if it's like a grade B or a grade C setup, I'm just limping in, in the attempt, obviously, as many examples on the chart or on the stream as possible. But if it's a grade A, see, and that was the thing, that one big was a $500 loss I had last week. That was a grade A trade. It just was that I put it at the wrong time, put it around the news.
Yes. Yeah.
So it ended up stopping me out, and then obviously it went in my direction, of course, right? That's just the way it works.
Right.
So,
yep.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
So I did a 30-minute session today with a gentleman out of Sacramento. And he asked me the question. He said, let me just go look here. So this was on the email that I got before the meeting, but I would like to get started on a $100,000 account and wanted to know if it is possible to make 5 to 10% monthly returns on that amount. I am also interested in using AI bots as well. So right away, you kind of have to bring somebody down to reality a little bit, because 5 to 10% per month, I mean, you're talking even higher than Warren. Well, you're up in Warren Buffett territory, right? But I did a little digging, and where was that at? Yeah. So like your typical professional hedge fund, they typically aim for 15 to 20% per year. So I kind of had to bring it back down to earth a little bit. I'm like, so that's basically like 1.25% to 1.75% a month. And then somebody like Warren Buffett, he's around 2% per month. So I kind of had to remind that, hey, that's a lofty goal. So is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. You may have a month or two here or there like that, but is it sustainable? Probably not. Because that's where I kind of had to introduce the fact that if you're making that much, then you're clearly having to leverage quite a bit. You get a couple, 3 bad trades in a row, you've blown your account. So, that was kind of how I led that off. He totally understood it. And, so that's just, and that's why in my coaching video, that's why I say, the one that's played all the time, that's why I say everybody looks at it like a get rich quick scheme. But the reality is you just gotta aim for something a little lower, because the compound effect, that's what ultimately takes over. And that's where the money's made. That's where the wealth is made. Just go for that small, simple little 1%, 1.5%, 2% per month. It doesn't sound sexy at all, but whenever you start getting that compound effect, that's where it's really done. By the way, that's one of my favorite all-time books I've ever read, was The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. I think I put that in the references tab on the Discord one time. I have to look, but essentially just talks about the penny doubled every day for a month, right? You want to give somebody will you take $100,000 up front, or will you take a penny doubled every month for a month? A penny doubled every day for a month, right?
Right.
It's quite crazy how the math works out on that.
Yeah. It's like over $1 million or whatever in like 30 something days or whatever. But
1 times 2. Oh my gosh, I don't even remember how to use the calculator. 1 times 2 repeating. I don't remember the combination, but I was trying to do that on here. 1 times 2 equals times 2 equals. I could just okay. So just doing 1 week, you're left with $128 at the end of the week.
mm-hmm.
And if you go, which is nothing. If you go 2 weeks, well, you're at $16,000. So still a long ways from 100,000. Let's go a third week. I'm doing this manually. That's why it's taking so long.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm doing this right. Yeah, 3 weeks, $2,097,000. Right. So you've already passed.
Right. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then it loses screen time. I don't know. I may not have done that math correct. I don't do math. You guys know all the time.
One penny doubled every day for 30 days would end up being about somewhere around $5.3 million. So,
okay.
So you're like, I mean, but still, it's like ridiculous. It's like Tom's comment is actually quite hilarious, dude. That I almost like, if I had water in my mouth, I would have probably spit it out. I always tell people anything is possible and they can achieve anything, but definitely not you. That's so funny, man.
Yeah.
Like, just tell your friend that, like, be like, hey, man, anything's possible.
No, definitely.
But definitely not you. Oh, man.
That's my printing calculator, yeah.
I haven't used funny, like
all the functions on a computer for a long time. I forgot to do it. Okay, here we go. I asked DeepSeek. DeepSeek's helping me out. 1 cent, 2 cents, 4 cents, 8 cents. Okay, so at the end of a week, you've got 64 cents. Okay. At the end of 2 weeks, you've got $81.92. At the end of 21 days, you got $10,485. And then at the end of the month, $5.3 million.
Yeah.
So like, it takes 25 days to exceed that $100,000 that somebody took for free.
And that's making like 100% every day, which obviously is ridiculous. But
obviously isn't true.
Yeah. It's like nobody is going to do that really. But but the thing is, I think the point you're making is valid. Like, is it possible? Sure, it is possible. Like, I'm not going to tell somebody that it's not possible, but it's like on average, like when you comparatively, the chances are so low at, of 10%, like making 10% per whatever, I don't even know, month or whatever. Like, it's not impossible or anything, or 10% a week or whatever. I don't even know what he was saying. 10% a week, I think he was saying, or 5 to 10% a week.
10 to 15 a month is what he was asking.
10 to 15 a month. So like, is it possible? Sure. Yeah, it is possible, but it's one of those, it's almost like a trader math thing. Like, people are like, a lot of traders will be like, oh wow, I made $400 today. If I just do that every single day, every tradable day of the week for the whole year, I'll be up 200 grand by the end of the year. It's like, yeah, that is true. But we know that there are ebbs and flows. Yeah. And it is not, unfortunately, that simple. So let's see how your emotions get to you and whatnot after you had 3 days where you lost $400 each day, and then see if you're able to come back and have that $1,500 day to make you relatively equal, like, averaged out or what have you. And like, there's just a lot of variability, and we all know that, like, us coaches, we know those these situations and everything. But yeah, like you said, like, focusing on the small percentages that you can consistently make over time, and then maybe taking some of that money, putting it somewhere else for it to grow safely and maybe start to compound over time. And keep some of that money in your own trading portfolio to try and compound, like you were also mentioning. And there's a mixture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just had to give it to him straight. He was like, I sure appreciate that. And as far as the AIs, I said, well, yeah, I mean, as long as it's not like the exact same EA or AI as like that's already in the system, then you should be fine. Sometimes they'll ask you to change your parameters or something if it too closely monitors somebody else's. So I said, but instead of that, because he had already done futures for a few years, and I think he said he was with Apex. I feel like that's what it was. But yeah, he ended up blowing a few accounts, and so he wanted to try his hand at Forex. I said, well, first thing, why don't you just start watching our streams, because we break this stuff down live every single day. It's always available for playback. So I think he was open-minded to that, because I was just saying, if you're using an AI bot, well, those things don't have any emotion. It's just a tool. But at the end of the day, you still want to know what you're trading and how to do it, because you have to be aware of the economic news that comes out all day, every day. Like, it's not going to understand that. So, I just recommend it. Well, just come check out our channels, and we'll actually teach you how to do it. That way you don't have to rely on a bot, if you don't want to. And he actually appreciated it, liked it. So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Get us a new viewer there.
Yeah. I'm glad that he scheduled a session with you, and you were able to, chat with him about that kind of stuff. And I mean, in the end, people in the chat, just in case you don't know, like, you can go on to holaprime.com and schedule a free training session with any of us coaches that you would prefer to learn from, whether it's Tiger, me, there's Coach Sam, Coach Daryl, Tony, Adelina, there's Coach Richard, Coach Michael. I mean, there's plenty of us, Coach James.
Mm-hmm.
So whichever one you'd prefer to, maybe you've seen us on stream and you look at our different trading styles and what we pay attention to, and there's something you like more than someone else's style or whatever, you can just schedule a free session. It's free. I mean, very rare to be able to do this. So be able to have this opportunity to get a free session from a futures.
Because you're normally paying the coaching fees. So, but yeah, if you just go to holaprime.com, you'll land on the main page. You just go over here to the trading tab. Just come all the way down to one-on-one coaching. Click on that. You'll see our pretty faces there. And you just keep scrolling down, and there you go. You just click the book now button on whichever coach. Now, this one specifically is the Forex side, but it's the same on the futures tab as well. You just simply click on our book now feature there. And then you click 30-minute meeting. This goes to Calendly, so then you just go select whatever day you're looking for and find the times that are available, and just finish it off that way. So that's how you do that. Go all the way back there. Trading. Where's I got to click futures. That's why. Yeah, but the same thing on futures. You'll be able to find all the futures coaches here. You got Daryl, you got Troy, you got Sam. There's Mr. Paul right there.
Mm-hmm.
Tony. And then these performance coaches as well. It doesn't matter which tab you're on, futures or Forex. You'll find these ladies down here, and they teach the performance side of things. So the in between your ears, right? The mentality, the confidence, the roadblocks. That's if you're looking for that, not necessarily trading specific, but just, hey, I'm losing confidence, or hey, I've been at a break even trader for 5 years. What do I do? I don't know what to do. Right. Sometimes it's just a little bit of a mental block. Now we can help on that type of stuff as well as coaches, but these ladies, this is what they specialize in.
Yeah.
The between your ears game, right?
Yeah.
And they're awesome, and they do their own little segment throughout the day as well. So definitely a good idea to go check them out.
For sure. And I am changing my availability for these. I have very limited availability right now. I literally have like one session every day, and it's in the middle of the day. And I'm going to change that. I'm going to open up more availability in the afternoon session or afternoon times, like because I'm streaming pretty often. But usually I will probably be opening up a couple of sessions per day sometime after 4:30 p.m. Eastern, so that people might see. I mean, I know that people have to work, and people work normal jobs and everything, and we have strict times, like we're working 8 to 5 and whatnot. So I'm going to try and schedule or have some more times open in the later afternoon if anybody wants to hop on one with me. But yeah, great opportunity.
Yeah.
Great opportunity.
It's good stuff,
sure.
and we enjoy it. Like I told you, Paul, I found the Forex trader right here in my own backyard, and it was just like meeting your new best friend. So when it comes to these coaching sessions, we love it because it's trading. While there are a lot of people that try to do it, it's still very scarce when you compare it to any other field. So when we actually run into somebody that is passionate about it like we are, we'll talk your face off. Right?
Yeah.
Nobody bites. We all learn when we teach. I learned so much just by teaching somebody how to do something.
Right.
That's just the way it works.
Yeah.
I just love it. So yeah, pick us out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that New Zealand trade that I just closed out, it actually in its weight created another demand zone. But I'm absolutely not going to take that because, number one, we hit that supply zone, but it did not have enough strength to go above and close. So that means that this supply zone is pretty strong, stronger than this demand zone. We're getting some negative divergence as well. So this is going to be a pass. But it was looking tempting there for just a minute. It was looking really tempting, but yeah, again, it did not break through that zone like that. If it would have broken through that zone, then I would have been okay potentially taking this zone. But it got that initial burst up, just went sideways all day.
Yeah.
Just thought I would point that out as a reason not to take a zone.
Oh yeah, for sure. Funny enough, I just literally in like the last 30 seconds, I just had like a wild set of events that occurred. I was looking at gold, and I meant to get long 3 micro gold because it looked like we were going to things were really starting to compress for a little break out to the long side. And then accidentally I got in long a gold mini instead of 3 micros. I then got out of it for like a $20 gain or whatever to then be able to switch over to the micros, and then it popped up without me. And I was like, like my forehead just immediately slapped my forehead. Like, this is so ridiculous. And then we just tanked back down. So it's like, I'm just like hands off the keyboard right now. Kind of, I put my hands up. I'm fine. I'm not a danger. I promise. Just staying away. It's ridiculous.
That's
prone to
it
these
came down
mistakes
pretty
as well.
close. pretty
Yeah.
close to my stop loss, but reversed. Now here's the thing: I was actually considering dropping my stop loss below this previous low, this previous zone low.
Right.
Now I would only do that because I did put in such a small risk. If this was a normal 0.5%, 1% trade, 2% max, no, hell no, because that would mean a lot more loss. But that's partly why I just go in small, because there's times where I will find a zone I may overlook or may not realize, oh, that's part of that zone. So it's just nice to stay flexible. And then always, if I need to,
Yeah.
just add more. If that trade is
Right.
turning around, then it gives me that flexibility to add more to it, add another position or something.
Yes.
But I think I'll just leave this one as it is for now.
Yeah.
Don't think I won't move it though.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we made a little bit of Tiger, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here with gold, okay? I'm not trying to toot it.
Yeah.
But if we switch over to my screen really quickly,
Yeah,
man,
sure.
does this give me some good confidence about my analysis in regards to like what I was looking at with market profile and stuff. These are the kinds of things where I'm like, my goodness, was this right on the money here? Whenever production can move over to my screen, I'll give the lowdown, but I just look at this and I'm like, wow, I had this
Horn
pinned down. My foot
horn
was on
tooting
Gold's
incoming.
throat. Yeah. My foot was literally on Gold's throat tonight, and I just didn't take take advantage somehow. I just let it slip away and run. But as I've said before, I got short where this purple box was, and obviously we made that large drop down. I then got stopped out literally. Oh, geez. Right here. I got stopped out right there. We continued. But the thought was, when I got in short here, I was thinking, okay, we're going to make a move down to 37.83. 37.83 because
to the tick.
And literally to the tick we hit that. And the whole point, the whole thesis behind like understanding this was simply looking at not only just like the profile distribution of gold from the previous trading day or regular trading hour range, but also looking at the liquidity on the order book and understanding like we are relatively bearish here, and I can see certain blocks of volume at certain prices, and 83 is where they dry up. So if I was trying to pinpoint an area where somebody's really trying to soak up as much volume as possible, they would probably stop right around that 83 mark. And they would try to get down there, and then and this is literally exactly what happened. Liquidity dried up by the time we got to 37.83. All the liquidity dried up there, and then we just
So
back to the upside.
So if you had volume profile up, would that be the equivalent of a low volume node where it dried up, you say?
Yeah, so
okay.
So let me see if I can't. Hold on one second.
I know you don't use it as much as like Daryl, but I was just curious if that was the same.
Segundo. So no, it's not. It's not. Like the two things that I'm saying are not the thing that I'm saying is not the same as what he's saying. It could in confluence. It could occur like coincidentally. What I'm just saying is like the current order book, what the current order book looks like. Now, what I could do is look at volume profile and then see that there is a low volume node there, because like in the previous trading sessions, people didn't feel very comfortable recently trading below that area, let's say. And then it could have just matched up nicely, like between the current order book and previous trading sessions volume nodes. That could have definitely occurred. But I wasn't looking at any low volume node area on the market profile there specifically.
And that was and that was the other question I have. So, like when Daryl is putting up the volume profile, is he setting it just from market open or from like
usually
7 8? Oh.
Yes.
Oh, so 9:30 Eastern.
Yeah, so he'll look at
right?
9:30 Eastern till 5 p.m. Eastern. That range, and he'll have those volume profiles set up for each regular trading hour session. I think he does have separate ones possibly for the overnight sessions. At times he might look at it but I don't believe so. I think he mainly focuses on the regular trading hour session ranges.
Okay. All right. So that would be my 8:30. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. And then on top of that,
no, it's fascinating stuff. I definitely look forward to digging in and learning more of that myself. And obviously the order flow, like what you're doing. I say it every week. I need to get a futures account. So have something fun to do after session. Join you guys.
Yeah, and then I'm all for it, man. And then on top of that, with this 3783 area, like when you're just looking back, like we had like a nice little area of support here where we had a previous head and shoulders at one point, and then just within this overnight session of gold today, we dropped down to the 3783, or it was like 3783.7 or something, and that was where I originally had my take profit, like to revisit that low and see what happens. So
right.
we literally retested it, broke through it by like $1 maybe, and then just rocketed back upwards. So, and maybe somebody would look at this and say, oh, maybe this is Michael's half bat. Ooh, maybe. Kind of looks like it could be some sort of version.
Well, no wonder you're called Prophet Paul. Picked it to the tick.
Yeah.
Now my trade's going really nicely. Thanks to your Nostradamus reading there.
Right.
And, yeah, I'm back above into the profit for the moment.
Yeah.
I just need it to break the structure, and then I'll feel a little bit better about riding it to the profit target.
Yeah. Tom, it was great. It was great having you. Yes, volume profile is an awesome thing, isn't it, man? It's so great.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I can't comment it exactly for now. Yeah, you're right, Coach. You're right, Tom. But it's good seeing you. Have a great night, man. And as always, it's a pleasure. I know you've got your new job you're starting, so hopefully we'll see you sooner than later. At some point, you'll be able to stop in for a nice little session for a while and say hi. But have a good one, man. Great to see you.
Yeah, enjoy.
Oh.
Take care.
And it looks like we don't have a eligible new viewer to give the account away to, unfortunately, tonight. So we will reserve that winner for the Forex Fire session tomorrow morning. So Forex Fire will be giving away that 5K two-step challenge, Forex challenge account. So that's fitting, Forex Fire, Forex challenge account. That'll work.
That's right.
That'll work.
Yeah, I'll be back on. I'll be on in 5 hours on Forex Fire. Me and Coach Richard and Coach Michael. So yeah, definitely come and hang out if it's not the middle of your night, right? If you're not sleeping, just come and check us out. We'll be definitely passing that out. We usually pass it out around 6 a.m. Central Standard Time or 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York City time. So just for context on that, but. Yeah, the sooner you can get there, the better. If anybody's not yet won an account, just let us know. Comment whenever you get there in the morning. Hey, I really need this account, right? Whatever it is, just let us know, obviously, what charts you want us to look at and that kind of thing. And we got a whole 4-hour block for you. We'll do it all again and spend as much time as we need to help explain this or that. So, but yeah, we got 30 seconds. Paul, any last second thoughts?
No, I think all I got to say is we appreciate everybody coming out, and please give us a like and subscribe. Just like and subscribe to the channel, to the stream here, to be eligible for that account. Just make sure you're subscribed to the Old Prime TV, Old Prime Global. Like the stream, comment, essentially, and then have your email in your bio of your YouTube channel. You need to have your email in the bio of your YouTube channel, because if you don't, then we don't have a way to reach out to you. So with that being said,
Yep.
it was great having everybody. Nice little quiet market session here between us two, and we both put on a few trades. Not too shabby. Coach Tiger destroyed me this session, so we will resume
morning,
this.
so I cheated. I used the whole day, and you used 2 hours.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But we will resume the trading tomorrow morning. It was a pleasure. Thanks, Coach Tiger, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. All right.
Right on. Have a good one, chat.
Awesome. See you guys.
Take care.
Hola Prime. Trade with transparency.